Hello and welcome back to another character creation video. My name's Lumin and today we're having a look at Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. This is a first-person action-adventure game set in the open world of the western frontier of Pandora. It's an Avatar game. It's also a Ubisoft game. So they're using the same Ubisoft open world template that they usually use, where you're going to be liberating a bunch of camps. Let's just say that. Now, if you'd like to do a deep dive to discover all this, to discover about this game, you can find some links below, and as always, there will be timestamps. As I jump in here, I just want to say I've been pretty curious about this. I was curious to see how they would handle character customization for a Na'vi. And here we are. I want to see if you can make a unique-looking character, an interesting-looking character. I want to see how far they'll let you push it. How far they'll take this blue color. You know, will we be able to make it really bright, really dark? Will we have lots of interesting and unique options? All those questions and more will be answered right now. Let's have a peek, guys. We're going to start by looking at the body types. Now, I'm doing it in this way because, kind of disappointingly, I want to say, all the options are exactly the same on the male body type versus the female one. As you switch between them here, and because this is what I do, I look at the minute details. As you switch between them, the body itself changes. Okay, so I can zoom out. That's the female body type. You can sort of spin around and look at it. And the male body type looks like this, right? It's very similar. You can see the one is clearly a male body type. The other one's clearly a female body type. But as you change it, you will notice that the face really doesn't change. There's some minor movement on the ears. There's something teeny weeny that's changing on the top eyelid. And then around the neck you can see a little bit of movement. The jaw might be squaring out a tiny bit more on the male. But like the options and the face and everything going on above the neck, it's all the same. And because of that, I'm just going to go through the character creation once, then we're going to randomize, and we'll sort of see what's up, okay? The voices will be done at the end as well. But again, you're making a character, and the body is just sort of like an extra that you throw in on there, you know? Like, you really look the same on both. Right. Now that we got that out of the way, let's jump in and let's look at the options that are available. Face. You get to pick some presets. There are some pretty cool looking presets. They're interesting. They're different, that's for sure. And what I kind of like about this and the customization of a Na'vi is that they don't need to stick with like the tried and true features that human faces have. They have this weird cat-like property to them with the nose and the eyes and stuff like that. I don't know what it was based on. I don't know why, you know, James Cameron or whoever made them the way they are. I do remember reading an interesting little fact about it, where he said he made them blue because that's the only color that wasn't taken. It's like, okay, man. Taken? What? Did someone claim all the other colors? Okay, man. This is interesting. It's just a little fact about the Avatar franchise that you might not know. When you go into proper customization, you actually get a bunch of options here. You get to change your face shape. You can sort of make it broader, more squared out, or thinner. This is also sort of a masculine versus feminine thing, or it's sort of just like you know, a face size kind of thing, where you're puffing out the cheeks a teeny bit, you're pushing the jawline out a little bit, you're making the chin a bit bigger, but it's mostly just, as you can see, for the bottom half of the face. So we'll take the first one for now, and then on the face details, this is sort of, it's like the overall contour or set of contours for the face. So you're not actually changing the physical layout of the face, you're changing the shading on the face, you're changing your age lines, you're changing a whole bunch of other stuff, right? Not so much the markings either, that's separate, that's in a different part, but this one, it'll allow you to sort of change the way the face looks and how it all comes together. And because of the way this is actually handled, I would suggest you go for the other options first, then you come back here and you see what looks best on yours. Because, I mean, some of them have what looks like makeup on, some of them have heavier lines that make you look a little older, some of them have no lines that makes you look a bit younger. So the face details, they are interesting. Then we're going to move on to eyes. already noticed the moment I jumped in here that I wasn't really a big fan of how they do the eyes. It's one of these situations where, yeah, I mean, the eyes are pretty big, but the colors are not all that bright. Now, you are very much being funneled into creating a Na'vi. This is what you've got on offer. These are the eye colors that are canon in this world for these characters. So, you know, you've got a limited set, right? It's not like you can go completely crazy and make your eyes pink or purple or pure black or anything like that. I mean, I do find it kind of weird because like they have the yellow tones and the orange tones, then they have this one blue or gray tone here. It's kind of a strange situation, but you can see generally what the color is that they want you to use. Then the shape, very minor. This must be the least impactful eye shape option that I've ever seen in my life. Like you move in this and like I'm talking millimeters, like micro millimeters. Look at this. It's teeny weeny. There's like literally nothing changing here. Next up we have the nose shape. You can basically just make your nose a little bit longer. Once again, micro changes. Your main bulk of the movement on the face is done by just picking the template at the start. So basically nothing there. The nose was simple. The mouth is, I want to say, even more simple. It's like, it's not much, okay? Like, it's everything just moves so little. I don't understand. I don't know why they even put the options here. Ears. There, at least there's something happening. Okay, so look at the ears. It's like, they get a little longer. Like, they took each of them and they just stretched it a little bit. And they're like, yep, let's call that a day. We done. That's it. That's it. So that's it for the face customization. Again, you want to choose one of these, okay? You want to take one here that you like, and then I would say you customize, then you do the face details, and then you're basically done. This other stuff here, it's so nothing that I wouldn't even care. Alright, I wouldn't worry about it. Let's take default face 1, and then let's go back. Let's have a look at the hair. Before I click on this, I want to say I was excited about the hair because I've watched some of the movies, I have seen some of the characters, and the cultural aspects that could be poured into the options available here are so massive that this has to be interesting, right? No. Wrong. You're wrong. This is not interesting. They've barely done anything here. I don't know, man. Like, they've got the braids, okay, and I like it. They've got, like, the plaits built in here. They got some that look sort of, like, on the verge of being, like, I want to say dreads with braids, where it's, like, a messy braid. But, like, it's, like, I mean, it's seven hairstyles that they look alright, but they really just look alright. And again, like, come on, you've got this vast culture to draw upon, all these cool and interesting looking characters, and then you give us like this. Now my first guess was that what they're doing is they're giving you a simplistic set of options here that could potentially be expanded upon. Let me show you how long it goes with paid DLC. And like, it's kind of sad if that's the case. It's kind of sad. Each of them has this long ponytail that goes all the way down. It's very limited, okay? There are a few styles that could potentially be seen as male, a few that could be seen as female, and that's about it, alright? I like what they've done with some of them, and I think some of them look relatively nice, but like, man, there's 7 styles, and they're all sort of, you know, variations of the same thing. I don't know, like, don't get me wrong here. I appreciate the idea that we can actually customize a Na'vi, that we can make one of these characters our own, but like, what the hell, man? Like, what are these hair colors? Again, I guess that this must be just, well, the kind of thing that we are working in the constraints of this character type, of this race, and like, these are the colors, man. This is it. And I guess that's fine if you're trying to play a role here and you need to be this Na'vi specifically, but if they start selling stuff on the store afterwards and they sell all the cool colors and styles on the store, dude, that would be a very sad moment. Okay. Here's the probably most interesting option of the lot. Is it the most impactful? Yeah. Arguably, yes. I would say most likely. I usually say that the body type and the skin tone options are like super impactful, and the hair is right up there with it. In this case, the hair wasn't all that impactful, but the body options, they are definitely interesting. Now, I have a criticism here. My one criticism is that no matter what you do, you can barely see the the bioluminescence pattern. Like, the best thing to do here is to go for the darkest skin tone, and I'm going to do that immediately. Then you can see basically where these dots are changing. So your bioluminescence pattern, it's these glowy dots, and my criticism comes in the form of, like, the creator itself here makes it kind of hard to see what's going on with most of the skin tones. This is the only one that makes it obvious. They should have allowed us to dim the lights here to see this, like, sort of glowing in the dark. Now, the patterns themselves are pretty cool. And again, like, I would say if you're looking at the character creator as a whole, this is the most interesting part. Because this is Na'vi, dude. This is what they're about. Blue skin, glowing dots, boom, boom. That's it. You're hitting the notes of the Na'vi. That's the song of their people. But it's quite limited. You have these teeny weeny little dots that I want to say you're barely going to see. There are some patterns here that I can't really make out because, again, the dots are so tiny and they don't let you zoom in further here. But yeah, I mean, like, again, it's one of these options where I think to myself, it's great that they included it, but, like, couldn't they take it a step or two further and make it a little bit more interesting for us? I don't know. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I'm giving constructive criticism. I'm just here, you know, I'm a gamer, and I want games to be the best that they can be. That's it. So really, don't misunderstand. Now, that's the bioluminescence patterns. There are a few. They look alright. It's kind of cool. I bet they look great in the dark. This one is the most interesting. It's got like an actual, like, cross pattern here, very straightforward, less natural looking, more sort of man-made. But let's take the basic one because it's got a lot of dots on the face. Then let's look at the skin patterns quickly. Now the patterns, it's like your tiger stripes or your zebra stripes. You get a lot of different ones here, and I want to say if you take these and you combine them with the skin tone and the bioluminescence, you can actually make a pretty interesting looking character. But you know, I'm just thinking about the thumbnail I'm going to make here, and it's probably going to be one of the most boring thumbnails I've ever made. Just a bunch of blue dudes, you know. But again, you're buying into the Avatar fantasy, okay? It's like you're doing this. I really like the darker blue skin tone. The skin tones that you have available here, and I'm going to sort of randomize at the end and you'll see all the different options that you can possibly have. But the skin tones that they have here, they are different variations of this blue. They go a little lighter. You can see they add a little green here where you're going for like even close to like a sea green or what could you even call that? I don't know. But basically, you've got the blue ones here with the darker and the lighter versions. Then you've got the slightly greener ones here that are still sort of a variation of the blue, but they give you a little bit more green in the mix, so you can sort of get like a sea green or a seaweed color or like a lichen or a mossy color or something. It's okay. It's kind of nice. But again, I feel like this is where you get the most impact because you can actually see the dots very clearly. And when you're on most of these other ones, it's kind of hard. So for now, I'm going to take that one and I'm going to continue. And that's just so I can stare at it while we listen to the voices, because we are, in fact, done now. It was the face, the hair, and the skin. Now, as I mentioned, the body types, they change your character a little bit. They make the character look a little bit more masculine and a little bit more feminine. You can see that the jawline does move a little bit more on certain faces than on others. But, yeah, it is what it is. The face is staying much the same. Right? Now, voices. There's 3 voices here. You've got a masculine one, a feminine one, and then a neutral one.
You helped me before. I'll help you now.
You helped me before. I'll help you now. Stay where you're needed.
You helped me before. I'll help you now. Stay where you're needed.
You helped me before. I'll help you now. Stay where you're needed.
You helped me before. I'll help you now. Stay where you're needed.
You helped me before. I'll help you now. Stay where you're needed.
Yeah, I got nothing but good things to say about the voices. They sound great. I like the 3 options. I actually really like that they put the slightly more neutral one in there. I dig it. It sounds good. The voice actors and actresses, they sound like they did a bang-up job. I mean, we're just hearing one line, but the delivery was good. It sounded nice. It's a good sounding voice. Perfect. Great. Awesome. Now, at the end here, I'm just going to show you what it looks like when you have a peek without the clothes on. This is the male body. There you go. You have this whole little thing going on with the butt cheeks sticking out. It's what it is. Then you can go back, you can check the female body out, same thing. You've got the little rag around the groin and butt area, and you've got some straps around the chest. Great. That's cool. Nice underwear, decent looking bodies. I seem to remember these guys being really tall, so that's a thing. That's definitely a thing. It's cool. Yeah, I like it. Now, we're going to randomize. Let's have a look at what's available.
You helped me before, I'll help you now.
That's actually
Stay
pretty
where
cool.
you're needed.
So, like, jumping from the one that I just had there to this, that's a big difference, right?
You helped me before, I'll help you now. Stay where you're needed.
That one, not so much.
You helped me before. I'll help you now. Stay where you're needed.
Okay, so I'm just going to
You
talk
helped me
over the
before,
voices,
I'll help you
and
now.
I'm going to keep skipping.
Stay
We're going to look at a
where
bunch
you're
of these.
You helped me before.
As you can,
I'll
I
help
want to
help
say,
me
quite
before,
clearly
I'll help
see,
You helped me
there's
before.
not a huge amount
You helped me
changing.
before,
You
I'll
are
help you now.
You helped me
basically
before.
getting
I'll
different
help you.
variations
You
of the
helped me
same
before,
thing.
You helped me before, I'll help
The biggest
you
You helped me
modifier that's
before,
being
I'll
switched
help you
around here
now.
and moved around
helped
and
me
changed
before.
is definitely the skin tone.
You helped
Like
me
that's
before,
making the
I'll
biggest
You helped me
difference.
before, I'll
I mean,
help
like
You
if you're
helped
looking
me
at the
before,
face,
I'll help you now.
what I want to say is try this
Stay
quickly.
where you're needed.
Focus on the eyes and the bridge of the nose. And then as I skip through these characters, look how similar it remains throughout.
You helped me before, I'll help you now. Stay where you're needed.
You helped me before.
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 Yeah.
I'll help you now.
I mean, it's all right.
Stay where you're needed.
And that's basically what I'm going to say. As I jump into the outro here, I'm going to say that there are a bunch of options that I feel could have been added to this to make it more interesting. Would have been cool to customize the tail. Would have been cool to customize a little bit of the body. Just some of the proportions and stuff like that, because it would make it more interesting for us. They definitely need more hairstyles. A few more options on the skin would have been cool, or a little bit more direct control over, say, the brightness of the bioluminescence, the size of the dots and all that stuff. I understand that a lot of it is locked into what the race is and isn't, and I get that. I also get that you're playing into the fantasy of being a Na'vi here, and I get that. It's just a little disappointing because there aren't that many options here, and to be honest with you, to be perfectly honest with you, I stretched this video way longer than it needed to be because I was curious to see like all the options and how much they can affect the character. I will tell you, I could probably have made this video 5 minutes and you would have seen everything there was to see. And I mean, again, it's just a little disappointing, you know? It's a big new Avatar game. It's a game based on one of the biggest movies of all time. One of the biggest movie series of all time. So, yeah, I mean, they really could have done a little bit better with it. However, again, I think that anyone that's a big fan of Avatar and anyone that wants to, once again, jump into that specific fantasy, they'll get what they want here. Yeah, they'll get what they want. I just hope that they don't get what they want here, then jump into the game, then see something on the store that's actually more of what they want, or more something that they originally wanted, and then they're forced to buy that. That would suck. So, yeah, there you go. This has been Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Thank you for watching it. Please, again, don't think that I'm being negative about this just to be negative. I just want to see the best possible games that we can have, you know? And there's just a few things that could be improved upon here, is all I'm saying. All right. If you'd like to support me in what I do, you can find my links below, including my Twitch stream and my Coffee page if you want to throw money at me. As always, you can give this one a like and share it and do all that other good stuff. I appreciate it when you do. Let me know what you think about this game. Let me know what you think about the character creation system. Let me know if you agree with me or don't agree. If you don't agree, tell me why, and all the rest. Cool? Cool. Happy that.